guys, welcome back. I am still in monitor mode. Been for days now. Just trying to get some stuff done. While I don't really have the opportunity, I really don't have time to be messing with all these, but just kind of getting a groove and just trying to get some of this stuff fixed so that when it comes time to finish having a game restored, I have a monitor that's working. So this is another K7000. This was on a tube that had no screen burn to it. It did not power up. I should have looked at it first, but I didn't. So first things I looked at is the Flyback has a huge crack in it. All along here, coming up with there, and down on this side. I have not checked the hot yet, which is a 1398. I'm going to say that the 1398 is probably blown. The voltage regulator, I did test that out in the shop, and that seemed to be fine. Of course, my multimeter's not in here, is it? Nope. But I have a new Flyback and a cap kit. This is a box from that Geo7. My Flyback supply is getting low up here. I only have I have two Nintendos. I have I have three 4900s. I have one more K7000. I have two Geo7s. So, I mean, that should be enough. I still have, some 4900 monitor chassis I need to do. Still have not opened up the box yet that came back, those 4600 chassis. I'm trying to find somewhere to stick this camera where it's going to be somewhat decent here. Garbage cans in the way. Let me go grab my multimeter real quick. It's in the other room. All right, so let's check this this hot right here. Now, I bought another K7000 chassis off of eBay for $40 yesterday. And looking at the picture, it looks like the horizontal width coil is burned up as well as the parts chassis that I have. So we're going to see if we can't fix it when it comes. Because I need another K7000 because I have a TV tube that I can put a K7000 on. So I have to see if I can fix the traces on it. I don't know how bad it is until I actually see it in person. But it was $40 and like $15 shipping, so I figured it was worth it. How did this... I don't understand. It's like these things get wrapped around like 400 times around each other. No matter what you do. Then you untangle them, and then, swear to God, 2 minutes later, back the way it was. So we need to check this hot right here. All right, I don't know what leg's what. Yeah, it's shorted out. So, I don't know that I have a hot. I have to check here real quick. It's a 1398. I have got shit everywhere. 1398. Ooh, I see a 1398 label on here. Got one. I got one. So let's test this one. I don't know what lead goes on what, but we'll figure it out here. Start in the middle. Okay, the leg to the left is reading 5.37. And this is the leg to the right is reading, 0.560. 0.536. So let's take that one out and we'll check it. I'm sure it's probably going to beep. It's probably shot. I have a big tip on here right now because we're going to pop that Flyback off first. Then I'm going to have to turn this off, switch it to a smaller tip, and then do a cap kit real quick. I'll probably fast forward through the cap kit. But I'm not working on any games again today because just trying to get this stuff caught up. And I got an upper shelf up here above my head that I can probably put 20 monitors up there. So what my goal is to take everything down off that shelf, all the parts and pieces, and just put all working monitors up there with labels on everything so I know what's what. Because then, you know, when I finish restoring a game, I can just, if the game doesn't come with a monitor, I have one up there that's been rebuilt and should just fire right up, hopefully. I hate that. These things got a stupid nut on the backside. And then it falls, and then you got to try to get it out. Okay, so let's see what we have here. They really thermal paste the crap out of that thing. All right, so we'll put our black lead on the center. .6. Okay, maybe it isn't blown. 5.33. I wonder if it's on this. Okay, it might be good. So the hot might be good, and it just might be the flyback shot. Just testing different scenarios here. I don't know if this is an NPN or a PNP but no, this hot actually might be fine. Which is fine. I'm all right with that. Saves me a part. I was just not measuring it correctly. I think it's okay. So there's still the Mylar piece is still on there, so we can just throw this right back on. Now, you always want to, same thing with a flyback. If you have a flyback that screws into your chassis, you know, for instance, this one has a screw. Now, I don't know if the new flyback has a screw or not. Probably not. But you always want to screw your component in place before you solder it. Never solder it first and then screw it in place, because what could happen is you could solder it in the wrong spot so it doesn't line up, you know, and then you're forcing it in the hole, and by forcing it, you could crack your new solder that you just put in. So anytime something gets fastened, fasten it before you solder it back on. That's what I always do, and I've had really good luck with that. This is a K7000 P447, which is for a 19-inch monitor. I don't know if it works on I would imagine the 13-inch monitor is probably a different part number. Not sure. Okay, let's pop this stupid thing flyback off. We're going to take that screw out. I don't think the new K7000 flybacks screw in. Now we're going to take the flyback out, but we're going to leave it out until we do the cap kit, because there's a cap hidden under there, and there's a cap right up against the flyback over here. So by having that out of the way makes your cap kit that much easier. I have the biggest tip I have on this desoldering gun right now, and it's almost not big enough. I forgot these flybacks, they clip in to the circuit board. Now, chances are there's still a pin or two hanging on. Oh, that clip broke right off. Which it's normal for the pins to hang on. They have so much solder on these that looks like this first one's hanging on. So if you just take your solder gun, hold it on the side of the pin, you can kind of wiggle the pin back and forth. I try not to leave the desoldering iron on the board for too long because I'm afraid I'm going to melt the trace, which isn't, I mean, it's fixable, but obviously you don't want to do that if you don't have to. That plastic is so old and brittle. Probably going to have to pull this bracket off. Or at least forward. Now the hot's attached to this, so you got to be a little careful. Okay, here's our old flyback. We got to get the wire off of the neck. Okay, I'm actually going to turn that desoldering iron off, let it start to cool off so I can change that tip out to a smaller tip. Okay, and then this is our brown wire. So there's our old flyback, and I don't know that I can show this. Let me stand up and look at the, it's probably not going to focus in on it. But, okay, see the shadow right here? That's a crack running along there. It's coming down here. It's coming back up here, straight across to there. And then if you look on this side, that's all cracked up right here. You got a crack starting this way, and then there's one running, I guess you'd say vertically. So when I did, I should have looked at the flyback because I knew nothing about this chassis or monitor. Once again, it's just in a pile of monitors that I've collected over the years, and should have probably looked, because if that would have powered on, it could have shot, you know, a spark or something and caused damage to something else, but it didn't even power on. So I was thinking the hot was bad, but it's not. The fuse is also good. I did check the fuse earlier. So now we're going to do a cap kit before we put the flyback on. Show you how I do that. Pretty much like everybody else that does it, you know. It's really nothing crazy. So we have a cap kit here with a list of caps that we need. I don't know if this came from Arcade Parts and Repair or Arcade Shop. Okay, this is from last night. Okay, this kit came from Arcade Shop. I know some people have had some issues with stuff from Arcade Shop. Honestly, I've never had a problem with the cap kits from them, so I can't really say anything. But I do order a lot of parts from Peter from Arcade Parts and Repair. I think a lot of those flybacks actually came from him. But yeah, I mean, I order from both places. Doesn't really bother me. I'm sure there are some parts that are not good, and it happens. If you guys saw my short video, I fixed another G07 between last night and this morning. So I did get that taken care of. So, all right, here's what I'm going to do. Here's how I'm going to do this. First of all, I'm going to take this extremely hot tip, and we're going to take it off. Try not to catch anything on fire. So I'm going to take that sleeve off of there. Get this tip out. Set it there. And this is a smaller tip, which works, and it's got solder stuck in it. And then we got to throw this back on. Tighten that up. Might as well turn it on and start heating it up. Probably need to clean the gun again. I cleaned it last night. But been doing a lot of soldering and desoldering this weekend on all these chassis. A couple of the chassis in the shop, they work, but they need cap kits and stuff, which I have not gotten to yet. But I took that hunk of solder out of the gun last night. Okay, so we're going to just start with, I kind of just go by whatever I see first, because it doesn't really bother me. So we got a cap right here, C42. So we'll just look for C42 on our list. C42, it's a 1025 volt. So we're going to find a 1025 volt. 1025 volt. So we're going to, that's the C42. So I'll just I'll cross out C42. And I got to wait for the desoldering gun to warm up. And then we'll pop that one out. And then we'll do a couple. And then I'll stop the camera, restart it, and I'll just we'll kind of speed through it. Thing takes forever to warm up. 480 degrees Celsius, which I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. Let's look that up. 480 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit. 896 degrees. I've always just run it at 480. You can turn it down, and I think you might be able to go higher than that. But I've had really good luck with it there, so I just leave it at the 480. I don't know what made me come up with that number. I don't know if maybe years ago I looked it up online and it said that. I don't know. I don't remember. This is a cheap $150 desoldering gun. It also does have a soldering iron you can put on there, but I actually just have an individual cheap one that I bought at Radio Shack years ago. And because in order to use it on here, you have to unplug this one and plug the soldering one in. So it's just a pain in the ass. So I just, have two different units. Now, you got to keep in mind, when you're taking your caps out, you got to remember which is negative and positive, because you always want to double check that. The G07 board I was doing last night, that's famous for having one capacitor in the center of the board that's labeled incorrectly on the bottom side versus the top. Now, K7000s don't label the bottom of their board, so you don't have that luxury. So I know here, this old cap, the negative is going up towards the ceiling. I gotta clean this tip out real quick. So negative's going towards the ceiling. So we'll pop it back in there like that. And what I do is I push the cap all the way down. Okay, then I just take my legs and I fold them over and I solder them all at the end. So now we're going to go to this one, which there's a bunch of black goop next to it. Don't know what number that is. That sucks. But it is a 22,035 volt. So we're going to take the 22,035 volt because there's only one in the kit, and that's what we're going to use. Now, sometimes you're going to get it, and for instance, that could say 22,035 volt, but they might give you a 22,050 volt. Don't get worried. As long as your UF readings are the same, as long as it's 22,000, it could be a 50 volt, it could be a 70 volt, you know what I mean? But it can't be, if it requires a 35 volt, you can't put a 25 volt in there. You can go up in voltage, you don't want to go down in voltage. So let me look up that one right here. So that is a 22,035. So that's considered C40. I can't see the writing. I think it's underneath the blob of black, whatever that black is. I don't know if it came from Flyback or what. And once again, the negative is going up towards the ceiling. Now, does this monitor chassis need a cap kit? I don't know. But since I had to pull the Flyback, I just decided to do it because normally I don't always do cap kits unless I think it needs it by the way it looks on the screen. But since I'm pulling the Flyback, that's really the only way to get to these without a pain in the ass. So I figured since I'm pulling the Flyback, I'm just going to go ahead and do a cap kit. You know, like I said, I don't always do cap kits. I tend to leave the original ones if they're still working good. So now we're going to go over to here, and this is C46, which is a 470/25. Right here. Now, a lot of these caps, the negative is going towards the ceiling by the way I have this board positioned. There are some that are coming towards me, and this one's going away from me, so it's very important that you check. Now, also on the board, it does show you which side's positive and which side's negative. But usually, if you just follow the old capacitor, it should be right. And then sometimes you unsolder the wrong spot, and then you have to fix it because I just took solder off of a terminal that I wasn't supposed to take it off of. So in that case, if that does happen to you, flip the board over and fix that real quick. Don't wait until you're done, because what will happen is you'll forget about it. So, all right, you guys get the idea. I'm going to go ahead, stop the camera, restart it, and we're just going to go ahead and roll through this real quick, knock out all these capacitors, and then we are going to put the Flyback in, and then we will test it and see if we get it working or not. Okay, I want to show you something here. And I actually just looked it up on my phone because I thought it was a bit funny. So these three capacitors right here are non-polarized capacitors. So that means they can be put in any direction, okay? Well, they didn't give me these style capacitors in the kit. They gave me regular capacitors. So I looked it up to make sure that I can, in fact, put a regular capacitor in place of a non-polar capacitor. And it does say yes, as long as the value is the same. So that was C4. So C5, it's a 10 UF50. And they gave me 10 UF50s, regular caps. There's one. Which I'm surprised they didn't give me the non-polarized one, non-polar ones. Am I missing one? Need another 10 UF50. That's a 1 UF50, a 1 UF50, 2250, a 1 UF50, 4.7 160, 10 UF50. Two different style. You know, they gave me one non-polarized one and the other one's, that's weird. Well, must have been what they had on hand. So that's what happened. That's my guess. Unless this is there's another 10 UF50, so hold on a minute. Maybe I screwed up. So there's two. I might have screwed up, guys. I might have screwed up. Okay, disregard all of that. I'm an idiot and didn't realize that I grabbed the wrong one. So the kit is correct and I'm wrong. So this is a non-polar cap, which means it can go either way. There is no positive or negative side. It does not matter. You can put it in the direction either which way you want to. That was just my own stupid confusion there. So I'm going to go ahead and continue on now. Okay, I have all the caps in. Now, there is an extra capacitor, and it says here in the instructions, it's C204 with an asterisk. It says right here, located on a neck board. Early production boards did not have this capacitor. So this is an early production board because it's not on there. So we have everything crossed off the list. So that's a 4.7 160 left over. So I'll put it in my drawer with all my other ones. Which ones are these? These are probably radial caps. Those are radial caps, so I need regular capacitors. This is a 4.7. 4.7. It's 100. 47. Wrong drawer. Here's 4.7 right here. I have a lot of extra capacitors. I bought a bunch of them years ago. So I'm looking for a 4.7. 3.3. It's a 10. Okay, these are 4.750s. So I'll just throw this in there. It's a 4.7 160. All right, so that's all our old capacitors. So now we have all those in place. Let's go ahead and solder those. And then we'll do the flybacks next. So this goes quick. Just after this, we'll cut all the leads, and then we will get the flyback installed. Make sure you heat these pads up enough so that the solder flows into them and doesn't become a big ball of solder on the top. Your solder should be pretty flat. It shouldn't have a big ball of solder. If it does, you're not letting it heat up enough. Like this one has a bowl. There we go. Now when you cut off your ends, leave a little bit hanging. Don't cut into the solder. Just go above it. Make sure you don't leave any clipped pieces on the board. You know, if they fall and stick on the board, because that could short something out. Okay. As I was cutting them, I made sure everything was soldered. Now you can barely tell that I did any new caps because it matches what solder's on here. So now we got to put this flyback on. These can be tricky, especially if the pins are all bent up. And this does not have a screw. It's got a broken clip, brand new. What the hell is this? Yeah. Unless they only come with 2 clips, I don't remember. Sometimes you got to get your soldering gun and put some heat where the pins are going through. Okay, it's clipped in. Now this one doesn't have screws, so that's why I didn't worry about screwing it in. Oh, still need soldering iron. All right, so now we have to take the red wire, and that goes into the neck board. There's a little hole drilled inside that tab. I always try to stick my wire into the hole. Like that. And then I put a little solder over it. All right, now we have one thing left to do. This wire right here. This needs to go onto that. Now, sometimes you can use the old one. debating if I want to just cut it and splice it, or it doesn't have to, I can always use a shrink tube. Let's see what I have here for pins. A little loose. Probably make this work. It's loose, but I can probably crimp it a little bit. And I don't have my crimping tool in here. Grab that real quick. Oops, might have went too far. Whoopsie. It is close. I think it'll go. Yep. Good and tight. Ugh. Blue, that's a fancy color. All right, so now go put it in, see what it does. Okay, I'm gonna get this reinstalled on here. And this bench works a lot better now. I figured out how to set them, or this stool, figured out how to set the monitor on there without it wanting to fall off. So now we're gonna put all this back together and see if we get lucky and it works. It was dead as a doornail when I tried it. So got my width coil plugged in. I'm gonna get my degauss plugged in. We're gonna slide it in place. It's missing a bolt, but we can at least put one in there for now. Just so it doesn't move around on us. Get another one afterwards. Okay. Put our neck board on. What the heck was that? That's brittle. Let's get our ground for now. Get our anode cup put on. power. I'm gonna stick some masking tape over those two power wires because they're bare right now. Don't want them to touch anything. Okay, so we have our degauss plugged in, we have our yoke plugged in, anode cup's hooked up, ground is to the neck board's on, signal's hooked up, power's hooked up. So let's see if we get anything out of this thing. I heard it. I hear it. The flyback is more than likely turned down all the way. Hearing something weird. Nothing. Okay. So we have nothing. This power supply is making noise. All right, still dead. Let's see if the anode cup has any power that went to it or not. Nothing. Okay, so we're still dead. So now we gotta do some more investigating and figure out why we're not getting high voltage. You know, maybe that, maybe the regulator is bad. I don't know that I have another one of those regulators. They're weird. Could be the hot, even though I tested it. I feel a little bit of warmth on the capacitor on here. I know I checked the fuse, and the fuse was fine. Do some testing real quick. The hot's fine. Could be the regulator. And to be honest with you, it has 4 legs. I don't think I really know how to test it. Guess we'll start on the end here and see what it does. I'm getting a reading on all 3 with the negative on the end there. Getting readings on all 4, but that doesn't mean anything. here's the parts one. That one's probably bad, I'm guessing. This is on this parts chassis. I would think that means it's bad. But I'm not sure. Might have to do some investigating here. What else could be the problem? Well, let me do some investigating. I'll come back and see what I come up with. All right, let me show you where I'm at so far. I have not tried plugging this back in yet. I've been troubleshooting. Okay, so first thing I did was I checked the hot. All right, so the main problem I was having, and I'm going to show you, I think this one, I don't know if this one will do it. I've stole a bunch of parts off of this one. So, well, you know what? I might do it on this one still. Okay, that's not, I don't think that's the problem. Okay, so I took that cap off. Let me put this cap back on. This is the cap from that one. Let me put this on real quick. I want to show you something. See if I'm right or wrong here. I believe this B plus cap is bad. Maybe I can get it back on. I think it's on enough. Okay, so this is the chassis with the new flyback that we did. Okay. I took this part and swapped the two. So this resistor right here, okay, now it's reading okay. Okay, so I don't really know what was wrong yet, but on this chassis over here, this resistor was reading 5.1. Okay, now it's reading 4.6. So now it's fine. I don't know if something was wrong, like a bad solder joint or something in this area, but this was only reading 5, okay? So now it's at 14.5, which is fine because that's a 15 ohm. So that's perfect. Now, this right here was shorted out because on this one, in continuity mode, this one's beeping. So my guess is this is shorted out. This is now reading right. This was only reading 5 ohms, not 14.6. So I guess we could plug it back in and try it. Also, my voltage regulator I know is okay because you got to get a reading of above like 180 or something like that on this, okay? Because if you get no reading on it, then obviously you have your voltage regulator is shot. This one's reading 190, which is fine. My Hot is reading 486. 486, so that seems fine. The hot on this chassis is shorted. See how, hear the beeping? So this hot is blown. So could this have not powered on because of whatever the heck was going on in this corner? I don't know. So all we can do now is plug it back in and see if it fires up. I mean, if either it's going to fire up or it's not. You know what I mean? And if not, I'm going to have to keep troubleshooting. I've tried some other things like this resistor here. This is, was it that one? Yeah, that was one of them. It's supposed to be 270 ohms. It's 269. That's fine. Where the hell was that? 101? I know 101 was somewhere. I can't remember. Oh, these diodes, I checked those diodes and they are reading okay. We got this first diode's reading 488. This one's reading 498, 496, 487. Those should all be fine. Let's double check this again. I'm in the wrong setting. 14.7. Where the hell was that really? That's gotta be 101 is what I'm looking for. Oh, it's right here. 101's right here. That's kind of going crazy. But I think it's okay. Might not be getting a good connection. It's holding at 1040. I don't know what that's supposed to be honest with you. Yeah. This is 1094. I'm gonna say, yeah, that's probably okay. Taking a guess at that, I don't know for sure. I say we plug it back in and see if it turns on. If so, could this have caused it? Causing this to screw up? I don't know. I really don't know. I did pull this diode out and then resoldered it back in, and I changed this one with that one, and then I changed this with that one, and then I put these parts back on that one, and then that's still reading good, and now this is all of a sudden reading good. So let's go back over here and plug it in and see what happens. I mean, I'm testing these big guys in here. This could still be bad. Actually, I don't even know how I can test. How does that one test? Is it just regular? This is a shitty multimeter, so I got to kind of flip from different settings, but I'm not getting a reading off of this one. But I don't know what settings I'm supposed to be on, to be honest with you, on this one. Yeah, I'm getting nothing on that. Making sure I'm not pushing down on the table. Okay, this one's getting a reading. Could that be bad? Or did I have my leads backwards? Actually, this one's beeping. Oh, I'm on the frickin', that's why. Okay, that one is reading. I'm honestly getting no reading off of this one. That could be bad. That component right here could be bad. It says 200X on it. Literally nothing. Let's change it. I mean, it's not going to hurt to swap it for that other one. Problem is I've changed so many things around now, I don't really know what the problem is. You know what I mean? As far as like being able to say, oh, it was this part. Because now I've moved around so much different stuff, and I don't know if this will test out a circuit. Writing goes towards me. Just want to put it back in the same way I took it out. I don't think it's going to read. I don't think these read out of circuit, but maybe. Showed nothing. Let's take this one out. Yeah, it's not reading out of circuit. Okay, let's just stick this one in. The downfall with stuff like this is you're getting monitors that are 20, 30, 40 years old, and you don't know what people have done to them. You know what I mean? And you don't know what the initial problem was. So it's very, very tough to figure out sometimes because you just don't know. Some things are pretty common, and some things are just like, what the hell's wrong with this thing? You know? See, it's not showing a reading in this on this chassis, but yet on the other chassis it was showing a reading. Why? Why would it do that? That's the stuff that confuses me, is dumb shit like that. Like, is there a reason why that's not giving a reading in this one, but it was on that one? Is something else bad? I don't know. Let's plug it in. That's all we can do, is plug it in and try. Got monitors freaking everywhere. All right. Hope the damn thing just fires up. That would be nice. I forgot to turn off my solder gun. Luckily, it turns itself off. How did I do like this? Well, we know we have no high voltage yet. I'm not going to tape those. If it turns on, then I'll turn it back off real quick and tape them. Because if I just got to yank this back off, they're not touching. Okay, that's hooked up. That's hooked up. Dead. Nothing. The hell's wrong with this thing? Confused, guys. I'm confused. Smell something. Can smell something. But what's the likelihood of the brand new Flyback being bad? I mean, could have a bad brand new Flyback. Yeah, let me see something here. The only thing I can come up with is the new Flyback bad. Everything's checking out. I mean, yes, a couple things didn't check out, and I changed them. But I don't know, I just really have it at a loss right now. Zero power going to it. I mean, what the hell else could it really be? My hot is fine. And I just double checked a hot on another one. Because I have a bunch sitting on the floor that work. And the readings are the same as the hot on this one. The fuse is good. I checked the fuse like 4 times. I reflowed the solder on the Flyback just before I put it back in. I'm gonna go put a new Flyback on it, come back out here, and we'll plug it back in and see if we get anything different. That's gonna be some shit if it's a bad Flyback. But I mean, anything's possible, you know what I mean? Okay, new Flybacks on it. Let's try it. Now, this one had all 3 plastic clips. Could the other one have been broken to begin with? Could somebody have dropped it? I don't know. I mean, I don't know how fragile a Flyback is, but this one obviously had all 3 clips and clipped in properly. God, I hope this is it. Because I am, if not, I'm kind of at a loss. I really, what the hell was that noise? I don't know what that noise was. But yeah, I'm kind of at a loss if this doesn't work. And you know, the funny thing too is the wire for the neck board, the ground wire, is gray on this one, which is the same color as the one I took off originally. But then that one that had the broken leg on it had a red wire coming off of it. So it's definitely a different batch or from a different place. Okay, so we have yoke wire. Signal wires are hooked up. Just need some power. Take 1026. Dead. No fly, it's not the Flyback. Okay, well, I mean, that's good. So it means I still got a flyback. Maybe the hot is bad and it just tests fine until it gets power going to it. Let me go grab a hot. I mean, I'm running out of options. I don't really know what else it could be at this point. Well, clearly don't have any voltage, so I'm not worried about that. Let me go grab a hot. We'll swap out the hot. Then, if that doesn't get it, I don't know. It's gonna be a mystery if that's the case. I mean, hot, I guess it could test good until it took power. I don't know. I guess we could check the V plus voltage too, which I think we got to test it off that ceramic resistor. I think. I'd have to look that up. Well, at least I know the flyback is not bad on this one. Clearly the first one was because it had cracks all in it. Okay, so I was looking everything over one more time. And you know what my dumb ass did? This was the bad one. See how it's cracked? See that crack? And I took this one out of that chassis. And then set it on the bench, took the one out of the other one, picked up the bad one and put it back in. So I just turned it on real quick and it does turn on, but now it needs like, see if I can get it adjusted and everything. Yep, so that was my fault on that part. I literally picked up the wrong freaking part. But hey, it happens. So now, brightness is way too high, and our hold. What's going on there? Okay, focus is way the hell off. Bring that in. Man, is that a freaking good picture. That's that burn-free tubes. Let's go with, looks like our width needs to become a lot wider. Yay, get to mess with the freaking width coil again. What could possibly go wrong with that? Turning the screw in on a width coil makes the screen go wider. Problem is it doesn't want to spin. So I'm gonna have to screw with that now. Let's see here, our height is too high, so we gotta go to our vertical height, vertical size, bring it down. We got some weird action going on right there. That's probably horizontal hold, maybe. That was the horizontal hold causing that, so that fixed that. Now we need our position, our vertical position. Raise it up a little bit. It's up, oh, there it goes. Thought it was up all the way. It is up all the way now. Okay, so it needs to go up a little higher. Interesting. Grab my little screwdriver. nice looking picture. There we go. Beautiful. Now, if I can get the oh boy, that red cutoff is bent like a lot. Now if I can get the width coil to move. Man, that is good. All right, let me, I don't know what to do with the width coil. Just don't know. Just know it's gonna be a nightmare. Horizontal position. Yeah, it's gotta go a lot wider. I got it. I got it to spin, guys. Was not easy, but look at that picture. Another one to label. Grab my marker, grab my tape. Another K7000. Nice picture. Sweet. I think I have one more monitor sitting back there that has a chassis on it. Then there's a couple other tubes sitting back there that don't. I think I'm gonna go grab one more real quick. I don't even know what it is back there, to be honest with you. Okay, another G07. It's got some good screen burn. I actually found two more back there. I have a lot of freaking monitors laying around. Okay, so this one, once again, might work. It's clean. No idea where it came out of, but it's clean. Board is exceptionally clean. I'll have to show you this board. I'm actually, for a G07, really not even burned up bad. Centers of these G07 boards like to burn. So this one must have not a lot of time on it, is my guess. Okay. We got power and make sure everything's hooked up because I literally just pulled it out from back there. Yes, this guy is clean. All right, let's give it a shot. Powered on. I heard the static. Boy, does that screen burn look like shit. I wonder what the fuck it was. No, there's the pictures coming now. All right, so we need to adjust. Adjust. I feel like I've done this before. Vertical hold. Okay. Need to shift it that way. Some horrible action going on there. B plus isn't high enough. That's better with the B plus. B plus dial on a G07 should be pointing between 4 and 5 o'clock. So if you're standing behind it, you want that dial to be pointing at 4 to 5 o'clock. And that's usually about the right setting for that. That curl could very well be a cap kit. I'm trying to think here. Oh, look at that. Ooh, maybe not. It's a little bit better there. Let's shift the picture that way. If I get the damn wire out. Jesus. Shift. Why does it all want to go just one way? This one in the center. All right. I think I'm going to have to probably do a cap kit on it. Turn this off and use an Allen key, and I'm going to spin this maybe, looks like it's broken, the width coil. Might be spinning, it's definitely cracked. Definitely busted up. Somebody tried to turn it. These damn width coils nowadays are expensive. I think they're like 20, 30 bucks. Yep, there's just pieces falling out of it. It's cracked. She's cracked. Now I got a piece stuck on the circuit board. Get that off of there. Now, if you're doing this on, you want to use a plastic tool. Might have turned a little bit. Screen burn, you don't see it when it's on, but when it's off, it's bad. I wonder what game it was. Yeah, it's gonna need a cap kit. I think that cap kit might straighten that out a little bit. So it's probably gonna need a cap kit and a width coil. Yeah, you can see the screen burn now in the white areas. Looks like the yoke might be a little crooked. Meh. Looks pretty straight on the bottom. I can't make it wider right now, so can't really do much about that. That brightness is all the way down on that flyback. It's bright. She is bright. Okay, I'm gonna write down cap kit with coil. This is a G07. I'll have to order some with coils. G07 needs a with coil cap kit. Works. All right, another one I know nothing about. Got some horrible screen burn. This is a candidate for a window tinting. Now this is a 4900, first one of the weekend. Neck board is not installed, so we'll put the neck board on. Okay, neck board's on. Degauss is hooked up. The yoke's hooked up. Anode cup is hooked up. So let's hook up video. Don't know if this is going to fire up. I think there's one more back there with a chassis, and there's 2 or 3 tubes back there, which I'll have to do yoke readings on them and either find a chassis, or I might even have it. I mean, some of those back there might work on a 4600. I'm sorry, a 4900. Did I say this was a 4600? This is a 4900 if I said the wrong thing. But I have a couple 4900 monitor chassis in the basement that I don't know anything about either. I just collect this shit when I get it cheap. You know, I was buying monitors for $25 a piece for a while, and I was just picking them up when I could, and I was getting free ones too. So I never would test them. I would just bring them back to the shop and throw them in the back building. It's a high voltage. I just heard it click on. You know when you hear the static. I mean, this has been sitting for a while. It's gotten like mud all over it. Got anything? Yeah? Oh boy. That looks like shit. Wow. Perfect. This will be the bottom of the barrel. Oh, we got a screw wedged up in here. That's interesting. Oh, just dropped it on the floor. All right, let's see if I can do anything with this. Oh boy, that is bad. It's looking a little better. Man, I haven't messed with a 4900 monitor in a little bit here. I'm trying to remember. This one's got the dial on the back. All right. What's this dial do? Okay, that's our adjustment height-wise. It's too tall. So I'm gonna grab my little screwdriver. I use this little metal screwdriver. I know you're not supposed to. It's on plastic pots. I'm not using it on metal ones. I have a plastic one over there too. Vertical size. Actually, I could probably get it with my hand. hole. What do you think you're doing? What the fuck are you doing? Oh boy. Okay. Looks like it needs to be stretched. Horizontal hold. Uh-oh. Okay. With coils right underneath the damn tube. All right, let me shut it down and see if I can get it to spin. It's got to go in. So if your width coil is really tight and doesn't want to move, go a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left, and kind of just keep going back and forth a couple times and free it up. It's in plastic, you know what I mean? It's not like it's into metal, so I got quite a few turns out of this. Let's see what that does. Freaking takes forever to warm up. Okay, still go more. Tell you what, I mean, it's really adjusting pretty damn good. We put window tint on this, it probably looked pretty damn good. So let me turn it off again and try to spin that in a little bit more. There's literally like brown dirt or something on this thing. Did about 6 full turns. Is this a boring weekend of videos, guys, or what? I ain't doing shit. Oh no, it did make it bigger. I'm getting some good curling right there. But I might be able to adjust that out. I've been wanting to do this to these monitors for a long time, and I just never have time. You could tell the old image how short it was. Nobody even tried to adjust the width coil. I wonder if the V-damp will change anything on this. Stabilized it a little bit more. Ouch. Try to go a little bit wider on the width coil, and then I'm done with this one. about all it's going to want to go. I don't want to spin it in any farther than that. Wish I could get rid of that curl right there. That whoosh, whoosh. I tell you what though, it looks good. Other than that, this has got some degaussing issue, but that's not a big deal. A little degaussing wand would take care of that. All right, I'm gonna leave it like that. I gotta get this piece of wood off of it. So I'm gonna write that it works. And I'll write bad screen burn. Which you can see. This is a 4900. Like a monitor like this, having that kind of burn in, I'm not going to cap it or anything like that. If I use it for something, I'll put a window tint over it and just use it until it screws up, because it looks pretty damn good, and it's not really worth screwing with it more if I don't need to. So let me get this one turned off. This one I believe works. This I think came out of one of those Jungle Hunt cabinets that I had. Screen burn's not horrible on this one, but I think this one works. This is another 4900. I still have to open that box of those 4600 monitor chassis. Should be able to get 2 of those working. Probably going to need to buy a few chassis here and there as I get them. A little worried about that K7000 chassis I bought for $40 because it's pretty burned where the width coil goes. And I don't know if I can repair it or not. Maybe. I think the width coil, they all connect together. Or maybe I can take that other scrap one I have over there and take the parts from the 2 and use that board, because I think that one's burned too. But we'll see which one's burned worse. All right, let's see if this one works. Got high voltage. Oh. Who wants to bet I gotta adjust the width coil? Ooh, that looks interesting. Roly-poly. That looks interesting. boy, is that way off. Looks like I'm missing red, too. Oh boy. This guy might need some work. This thing's all effed up. Oh, we're missing red because the red's not plugged in. Fell out of the plug. Oh, backwards. I mean, that looks amazing, guys. This is the best one yet. You know what? The wire's missing for the shift, to shift it that way. So we'll have to do that modification with it, where you put that dial in there. But looks like it's probably definitely needs a cap kit. It's filthy in here. Red is too red. I'm going to say the screen curling is more than likely a cap issue, if I were to guess. Ouch. There we go. That's a lot better. Look at that. Now I just got to bring it down. Vertical size. Maybe we don't have a cap issue. That actually doesn't look too bad. It's a little bright. Let's see if we can dim it up a little bit. Flyback screen. It's not bad there. All right, I think maybe I'll raise it up a little bit. Get that a little bit more to the top of the screen. I think I can do that by switching the jumper wire. Did that move it? Nope, went the wrong way. There we go. Some funkiness going on up there though. Don't start with me. I wonder what I just did there. I actually cranked up the B plus a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit. And then I took the brightness down on the Flyback. And I think that's pretty damn good, guys. It's really not bad at all. So let me put my notes on this one, and then I'm going to call it good for this weekend. So we have another Wells Gardner. Now I'm just going to leave it as is. I'm not even going to screw with it. Wells Gardner 4900. I'll just put looks okay. I gotta get that frame off of there because that's for a Tato cabinet. All right, guys, that is 10 working monitors so far. I forgot, I have more on the spray booth up there that I can't get them down right now because I got too many signs and stuff up there. But that's future. There's probably 5 or 6 up there. I gotta, let me pause this for 1 second. Okay, I have 3 more tubes back there with no chassis on them. I know one of them, or maybe 2 of them, I think, are G07. So I'm gonna need to find a couple G07 chassis. A lot of those cabinets that I'm going to restore already have monitors in them as well. So if I can get all these capped and working, there's only a couple that I need to do some work to. This G07 needs a cap kit. This K7000 needs a cap kit. This 4600 needs a cap kit and a reflow. Just looking real quick here. Really, for the most part, not too bad really. But so most of those have monitors, and what I could do is, if these are done and ready, I can just swap them out. It's going to save a lot of time putting these games together as I restore them because I'm already going to have the monitors done. I'm going to have them on a shelf in the basement and ready to go. Like I said, there's probably 4, maybe even 6 monitors up there from poker machines still that probably don't work, but chances are they're probably gonna, yoke readings are probably gonna be a set K7000 chassis, because that seems to be what a lot of those are. Those Best Tech monitors and Core Tech or Core, whatever the hell it's called, monitors seem to be a lot with that. Excuse me, K7000 chassis seem to work a lot on that. And then I have 2 4600s in the basement I got to put together. I have another K7000 in the basement that needs a cap kit. It works, but it needs a cap kit. My my test generator to do images broke yesterday. Broke last night. I have no idea what happened. It was working, shut off, thought the batteries went bad, changed the batteries, it won't turn on. So now I gotta buy another one of those. Test pattern generator. Trying to think what else. There's at least 3 or 4 4600s down there, but I only have like 2 chassis, I think. Might be a 3rd chassis floating around, I'm not sure. But, oh, I think the parts might be here tomorrow or Tuesday for that monitor that's still in that cabinet over there, where it's just showing green. So we'll see if we can fix that. If not, I'm pretty sure that's another K7000 chassis. Problem is K7000 chassis for 19-inch tubes are getting hard to find, but that seems to be the most popular for these newer monitors. So that kind of sucks. So I got to get at least one more working for that TV I have in the basement that has that perfect tube on it. So this is what happens is these width coils burn out and it screws the board up. And I think this board has less burn than the one I got off of eBay. But this is bad. That's bad. Problem is I need to find a width coil because the other one's gonna be burned up as well. Chances are I could fix this chassis, but I was using it for parts this weekend, so Just got to put it back together. It is what it is. Unfortunately, you can't save every single one of them. Be awesome if you could, but you know, you run into weird caps and stuff that you need, and you got to steal them. Like, I would not have gotten that last K7000 working tonight unless I stole this, you know, from this one, because this one was cracked on that one and clearly was never going to work until I did that. So, all right, guys, I'm going to end this video. It's probably a long one. Let me know what you guys think. Did you like watching me work on monitors nonstop for a couple days? Has to get done, guys. Just part of the job, and I feel a hell of a lot better knowing that I've gone through a lot of them. And yes, they're going to need to be washed and stuff, but I'm not going to wash them until I'm restoring the cabinet that's going to go in, because what's the point? Wash it, let it dry overnight, put it back together, and you're good to go. You know what I mean? Kind of pointless to clean them right now if they're going to be sitting on a shelf for a while and they're going to get dust and dirt on them anyway. So might as well just let the crud stay on there and clean them off after. So let me know what you guys think. Please leave a comment. Please hit the thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. If you guys haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. I'm always doing something. We're going to get back on the Arabian this week as well. I'm working a lot right now, so we might not be getting a video every day, maybe every other day. We'll see what happens. If the parts come for that other monitor, I'll probably do a short video if I get it working. If not, then probably, if you don't see a short video on that monitor where it was just showing green, then I didn't fix it. Like I said, the parts should be here Monday or Tuesday. They're coming from Arcade Parts and Repair. It's clearly not a tube issue, it's a chassis issue, so hopefully I'll get that sorted out. Thanks, guys. I'll see you guys later.